नमस्कार, मैं अशोक व्यास हूँ और मेरे पीछे आप देख रहे हैं प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी को यज्ञ करते हुए। और ये अवसर था महर्षि दयानंद सरस्वती जी की 200वीं जयंती पर आयोजित होने वाले कार्यक्रमों के शुभारंभ का। और अब हमारा सौभाग्य है कि न्यूयॉर्क में एक विशेष आयोजन होने वाला है ऑप्सा यूनिवर्सिटी में। एंड व्हाट दैट इज एंड हाउ इट इज रेलेवेंट फॉर अस टू लर्न अबाउट दिस इम्पोर्टेंट event which marks 50 years of Arya Samaj in USA, 150 years of Arya Samaj inception, as well as 200th birth anniversary of Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati ji. And I have distinct pleasure and honor of welcoming two dedicated individuals and how they are serving Arya Samaj and our community. We'll learn from them. भुवनेश जी आपका स्वागत है, विश्रुत जी आपका स्वागत है, नमस्कार।
नमस्ते जी, धन्यवाद।
तो भुवनेश जी और विश्रुत जी दोनों का कहीं ना कहीं कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड से संबंध है। विश्रुत जी भी आईटी से रिलेटेड है, भुवनेश जी भी और दोनों न्यूयॉर्क से दूर बैठे हुए हैं। और कहाँ बैठे हैं भुवनेश जी, आप कहाँ हैं?
अशोक जी मैं डिट्रॉइट मिशिगन में रहता हूँ।
और विश्रुत जी?
मैं जॉर्जिया अटलांटा में।
जी बताइए। तो टेक्नोलॉजी क्या हमको एक फ्रेम में ले आती है एक साथ, उसी तरह से एक ऐसी समझ होती है जो हम सबको हमारे भीतर का जो एकत्व है उसको उजागर करती है। आर्य समाज उस दिशा में एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका निभा रहा है। भुवनेश जी, प्रारंभ आपसे किया जाए। आप अध्यक्ष के रूप में जिस महत्वपूर्ण उत्तरदायित्व को निभा रहे हैं, तो ये क्रम आपके जीवन में आर्य समाज से जुड़ाव का बचपन से ही शुरू हो गया था या बाद में अधिक सक्रिय हुए? क्या खास बात आर्य समाज की आपको लगी कि आप हर रविवार तो यज्ञ करते ही हैं और इस प्रकार से भी सेवा देते हैं?
बहुत अच्छा प्रश्न पूछा अशोक जी। एक्चुअली मैं एक आर्य समाज परिवार में पैदा हुआ। जहाँ तक मुझे याद है, हमारे दादाजी, हमारे पिताजी और अगर आप हमारी फैमिली लेगेसी पे जाएं तो 3-4 जनरेशन आर्य समाज से इन्वॉल्व रही। हमारे पिताजी के नाना जी, मतलब मैं बात करूँगा अर्ली 1900s में, उस टाइम पे उन्होंने कन्या गुरुकुल देहरादून की एस्टेब्लिशमेंट करी स्वामी श्रद्धानंद जी के साथ करके, राइट। तो वो कहीं ना कहीं हमारे जीन्स में है, जोश आज भी चल रहा है। तो आर्य समाज के बाहर कभी स्टेप आउट हुए नहीं और लगता भी नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत कार्य है और बहुत आगे जाना है इस कार्य को लेकर।
आर्य समाज को आपकी दृष्टि से समझने का प्रयास हम और करेंगे, पर विश्रुत जी आपकी तरफ मैं यही प्रश्न को थोड़ा और एक एंगल के साथ लेकर आता हूँ। जब आप भारत से बाहर आते हैं तो हमें कहीं ना कहीं ये चुनौती रहती है कि हम अपनी संस्कृति से जुड़े रहने के लिए कुछ अतिरिक्त प्रयास करने पड़ते हैं। एक आर्य समाजी होने के नाते जब आप अमेरिका आ गए तो उस दृष्टि से इस चुनौती का सामना, इसका निराकरण कैसे आपने किया?
देखिए, मेरा ये सौभाग्य था कि जब मैं अटलांटा में आया, यहाँ पर आर्य समाज पहले से एस्टैब्लिश था। वो संस्था का नाम है ग्रेटर अटलांटा वैदिक टेम्पल। और जो हमारे सीनियर्स हैं, जो फर्स्ट जनरेशन ऑफ द आर्य समाज पीपल हैं, उन लोगों ने लगभग 1986 में आर्य समाज की स्थापना यहाँ कर दी थी। तो जब मैं यहाँ से जुड़ा तो संस्था ऑलरेडी एस्टैब्लिश थी और हमें हमारे माता पिता और हमारे नाना जी जो फर्स्ट जनरेशन के आर्य समाज फॉलोअर थे, उनके माध्यम से जो बीज मिला और उसको फ्लरिश होने का अवसर जो है वो आर्य समाज अटलांटा ने, ग्रेटर अटलांटा वैदिक टेम्पल ने हमको प्रोवाइड किया। और वहाँ पर फिर इतनी व्यवस्थाएं उपलब्ध थीं, इतने विद्वानों का आना जाना था, उतना स्वाध्याय का माहौल था कि हमें ये प्रतीत नहीं हुआ, महसूस नहीं हुआ कि हम भारत में आर्य समाज को छोड़ करके आ गए और अमेरिका में आर्य समाज नहीं है। तो तब से और उस आर्य समाज की वजह से ही फिर जो ब्रॉडर स्पेक्ट्रम ऑफ आर्य समाज इन द नॉर्थ अमेरिका है, उससे इंट्रोडक्शन हुआ। 2009 के अंदर भुवनेश जी से और आर्यप्रतिनिधि सभा अमेरिका से जुड़ना हुआ। तो उसके बाद तो जैसे भुवनेश जी ने बोला कि स्काई इज़ द लिमिट, क्योंकि हम ये सोचते रहे दोनों कि हमें तो माता पिता से, परिवार से आर्य समाज मिल गया और हमारे शहरों में आर्य समाज की स्थापना हमारे एल्डर्स ने कर दी, लेकिन जिस राज्यों में आर्य समाज नहीं है, जिस राज्यों में हमारे माता पिता जैसे सीनियर्स नहीं हैं, जहाँ पर वो विजन नहीं है, वहाँ पर भी हमें आर्य समाज का बीज ले जाना चाहिए। तो उस दृष्टि के साथ हम लोग अपना कार्य आगे बढ़ा रहे हैं। तो निश्चित रूप से भारत के माहौल में, यहाँ के वातावरण में फ़र्क होता है, पर ये हमारे ऊपर है कि हम वो वातावरण यहाँ भी कैसे क्रिएट कर सकते हैं। ऑफ कोर्स लॉजिस्टिकल प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, जो वहाँ पर इजी एक्सेस होती है विद्वानों की स्कॉलरशिप की, वो यहाँ नहीं होती है। तो हमें इसीलिए वो अनेबलर बनना है कि हम यहाँ के लोगों को भी वहाँ का वातावरण और वैसा वातावरण जो आर्यत्व का है, मतलब आर्य समाज कोई सेक्ट तो है नहीं, आर्य का मतलब है नोबल पर्सन, राइट। तो कोई भी व्यक्ति नोबिलिटी की तरफ अगर बढ़ना चाहता है तो वो आर्य समाज में आ सकता है। तो हम ये चाहते हैं कि जो भी वेदों का ज्ञान है, आर्य समाज की जो बेसिक विचारधारा है, वो हमारे लोगों तक पहुँचे, और हम जितना भी कर्तव्य अपना कर सकें कि हर राज्य के अंदर, हर मेट्रो के अंदर आर्य समाज की विचारधारा प्रवाहित हो, ताकि वहाँ की आने वाली जनरेशन्स को भी ये इजीली एक्सेसिबल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और नॉलेज अवेलेबल रहे। तो इस लक्ष्य के साथ हम चल रहे हैं।
बहुत ही सुंदर विश्रुत जी आपने बताया। इतनी सुंदर ढंग से अपनी बात को हम तक पहुंचाने के लिए आपका आभार व्यक्त करते हुए मैं एक बात अपने दर्शकों तक पहुंचा देता हूं कि आप दोनों सक्रिय रूप से लगे हुए हैं, जो एक हॉफस्ट्रा यूनिवर्सिटी में 18 से 21 जुलाई तक विशेष समिट हो रही है, उसके बारे में भी हम चर्चा करेंगे। पर भुवनेश जी, थोड़ा और स्पष्टता की दृष्टि से, जैसे विश्रुत जी बता रहे थे, and let me switch the language to English for a while. Bhuvnesh,
Certainly.
for a second generation Indian American, or for that matter for anybody, if you want to explain to them what it is that Arya Samaj stands for and what are the core principles of Arya Samaj. And allow me to add, while Vishrut ji was mentioning that basically Arya Samaj means a noble person, and if someone who is not Arya Samaji, we don't say that you are not a noble, but we just say that this is a structured way which would help you in adopting the noble
Right,
values
right,
in your
right,
life. So
right.
talk to me, Arya Samaj, according to you, for someone who has no clue what it is, how would you explain?
Certainly. So Ashokji, basically, we are given this opportunity to be present here as human beings on this earth, right? We know there are animals, we know there's other living beings, and we happen to be humans, right? So when we are humans, we must have a code of conduct in life. There must be a manual that comes with us, right? Every electronic, this computer that we have, when we purchased it, came with a set of instructions, right? So Vedas are that code, that manual, the constitution of what humanity means. The message of Vedas, message of Manusmriti is Manurbhav, be a human, right? And what type of human? One that is noble. So the journey of life is to become noble. It's not that we are what is the difference between the choices, the good choices that we make, right? So we have spiritual needs, we have physical needs, and we have societal needs, right? So the mission of Arya Samaj, it's more of a movement. It's an organization which helps you grow spiritually. It helps you grow physically with things like yoga and taking care of your body and all that. And then, of course, service, right? Service to mankind. It is not service to one religion. It's not service to one set of human beings. It is service to all, right? So when we want to give back to community, suppose there's a natural calamity, where there's a earthquake, whether there is um, a hurricane, right? We don't distinguish between you're a Hindu, or you come from Christianity, or you come from a certain background, right? We are there. We pool our resources to help everybody in need. So it's these universal values, doing good karma for all, right? And nobody where you are in the society. We all come in this world with nothing with us, and we leave really with nothing physically. But what we can leave with are our results of our good deeds. And that's what an organization like the Arya Samaj itself can help us grow spiritually, physically, and then, of course, work for the good of the society.
Beautifully said, Bhuvnesh, and I think nobody would disagree with what you said, whether you imbibe these value principles through Arya Samaj or in some other way. But these are universal principles which are helpful for everyone. So if you are being helpful and coming to support those who need support after calamities or whatever, irrespective of where they come from, what is the background. So the question now, Vishrutji, to you, and then I'll come with same question to Bhuvnesh, is how these ideas uh, are made available to the next generation. So there must be some activities, or for example, as I know about the yagya is a regular feature in most of the Arya Samaj temples every Sunday. Here I observe, and anything else, or स्वाध्याय की बात भी आप पहले कर रहे थे. So what does that take? Or as far as I remember, Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati ji gave a lot of emphasis on Vedas. तो वेदों के अध्ययन के बारे में भी शायद कुछ रेगुलर बेसिस पर होता होगा. विशुद्ध जी.
Great question, Ashok ji. There are many dimensions to that. But as I said, Swami Dayanand, or Maharshi Dayanand, I would call, Maharshi Dayanand promoted living the life of a noble person. And to clarify your previous question, Arya Samaj means the people who want to be noble. Of course, the nobility has a very high dimension, and we are all trying to be following towards that path. So Maharshi Dayanand did say that just by thinking of good things for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, just by going to the temple for 5 minutes, or just by taking bathing in Ganges or any other places, or going to the Tirth, will not make us a great human being. What Maharshi Dayanand mentioned was we have to imbibe the good qualities and live those qualities 24/7. That defines our character, and that is what makes us a good human being. So, and then he also said that for every human, there are 16 sacraments that are done to his life to make a great human life. And the sacraments happen to be even before conceptions. So, the parents are to work on making a great child, and as Bhuvnesh said, Manur Bhava Janaya Daivyam Janam, create a great progeny with the divine qualities. So there are three things. One thing is the sanskar system that is to be adopted by each family to make a great human being. So at every stage, Maharshi Dayanand has prescribed that for a human being to grow a better human being, these are the things in the next phase. Is like the way you will treat a plant or a tree. You put a seed, you need to create a good soil, then you put a good seed in that one, the tree comes out. How do we take care of that for initial few years? So that way sanskar system is defined to uh, to, to make a great human being. That is one. And then for a householder, Maharshi Dayanand identified 5 daily duties. That is called Panch Mahayajna, that to continue to follow the righteous path and live those divine qualities, I have to follow those 5 daily duties. These are called Panch Mahayajna. Starts with the Brahma Yajna, Deva Yajna, Atithi Yajna, Pitri Yajna, and Bali Vaishwadevi Yajna. So because if I practice those things in my life, I will become a better human being by just practicing, not only discharging my duties. It's like if I'm holding a flower in my hand, if giving to someone, the fragrance will come to my hand as well. So Maharshi Dayanand says we need to have the ecosystem of that kind, wherein from all the side we listen to good things, we always think of good things, we always think of doing the great things as well. The other thing that he mentioned was there are 10 principles of Arya Samaj, and they're all universal. No one can disagree with those principles. And Maharshi Dayanand mentioned that all the people who are coming to Arya Samaj or trying to follow the Vedic philosophy, they are to live and abide by those principles that are universal for the mankind. If you will review it, it says Sansar ka upkar karna, to do good to the humanity is our primary aim. No one will disagree with that, right? We should always adhere to truth and denounce untruth. हमें सत्य को हमेशा ग्रहण करना है और असत्य को छोड़ना है. You will find them to be absolutely universal. So my point here is that to become a good person, noble person, it does not happen by just going to a particular place. It happens by living that life, and the practice of that life has to happen from the beginning. The way the parents tell us to brush the teeth twice a day, same way the parents are to tell their kids that you have to speak the truth, follow the righteous path, do your worship, always think good things. So that happens from the day one, and that is what Maharshi Dayanand mentioned. So the basics will remain the same all along. How do we implement those basics? How do we inculcate the good habits? That might change with the time, but the basics do remain the same. So those are a couple of areas where
Very,
we can.
very, very well. I appreciate that. And let me take you to India. I mean, this time around, when I say India, not literally, but with the image that you see. So there is a committee which was formed by government of India, and both of you are also part of some gadget. What is that, Bhuvnesh? And let me also share some of the tweets. So this was in 2023, where he says we bow to Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati ji on his 200th Jayanti. He was he was a beacon of knowledge and spirituality. And there were a couple more. I'll just share one more. महर्षि दयानंद जी ने आगे आकर वेदों के बोध को समाज में पुनर्जीवित कर दिया and all that. So now, what was it about the committee and how involved you were with the organization of various events related to this Bhuvnesh?
Certainly, Ashokji. So the tweet that you showed from Prime Minister Modi was from February 12th of 2023. And what that was is an initiation of the 200-year birth anniversary of Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. So what we have is the Government of India, a culture of ministry led by um, PM Modi, created a global committee consisting of people from the corporate world, people from the politicians, world leaders, Arya Samaj leaders across the globe, to form a committee which would be responsible for um, propagating and taking the message of Maharshi Dayanand and letting the world know that he existed, he came to this world in this world 200 years ago, and subsequently Arya Samaj was established 150 years ago. That anniversary is coming next year. So Modi ji actually tasked us all to, and the big event was, of course, last year, where I was lucky enough to be present with 60,000 people in attendance, and Modi ji addressing us all and talking about the teachings and the importance of Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. The 200th birthday celebrations, Jan Jyoti Parv, is what it is actually coined as. Vishrut ji was there in Tankara, Gujarat, which happens to be the birthplace of Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. So the program that's coming up on July 18th that you mentioned earlier is the Arya Global Summit. It's International Arya Mahasammel commemorating that Jan Jyoti Parv, right? So we are very much
Let me,
involved with it.
yeah, sorry to interrupt you, because many of us are not aware that Swami Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ji also was born in Gujarat. So,
Yes.
so Gujarat has given us so many luminaries, Mahatma Gandhi to, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, also an important personality on global arena. But uh, I mean, Maharishi Dayanand Saraswati ji coming from Gujarat is a news sort of a thing for me, because the typical traits of a Gujarati, I don't see them in. I don't know. He comes more like a warrior type of a personality, like very firm. And if I go to what Vishnuji earlier mentioned, that just by doing a particular thing, it's not going to transform the life, like taking bath in Ganga Maya or whatever. Uh, so here, I think I take this opportunity of mine. He did not say that it will restrict you from attaining. If it is undertaken with proper orientation, it has helped. It will help. Many times people create lines that he said no, don't go. He didn't say that. I mean, and even that famous reference where he saw a mouse on Shivlinga, and that. So he had a questioning mind, and he was dedicated to truth. So the way he saw it, he didn't hide. He was not a pretentious, and I think that orientation or alignment with truth is what makes us celebrate his 200th birth anniversary. Uh,
Mhm.
but then there could be multiple ways of reaching to the infinite is also part of Indian culture, and so I just thought ultimately it is about oneness and harmony that also through Vedas comes to us. But since we may not have a lot of time, I want both of you to tell me what to expect. from 18th to 21st July at Hofstra University. What is happening and how the preparations are? So starting with you, Bhuvnesh.
So, thank you, Ashok ji. It's going to be a 4-day global convention. Actually, Thursday, 18th, we're going to be at Times Square. Our youth in North America are going to feature a cultural presentation on the values of Vedas on Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. So, we're working with the city of New York and to put up an event right there on Times Square, have a cultural, musical event to let the world know about Arya Samaj and Maharshi Dayanand Saraswati. Friday morning, we'll be back at Hofstra University. So the three-day program will be all hosted at Hofstra University. We'll have keynote speakers from all over the world, Vedic scholars, on talk about they'll talk about different aspect of the Vedic teachings and how they're relevant in today's world, right? So the theme of the conference is Arya Samaj, Sanatan Dharma and its relevance today, right? So when we talk about Sanatan, it's not labeling anybody, but it means that something that was relevant yesterday, that's something relevant today, and it will always be relevant in the future. And hence the core, our basic Vedic values. We'll have afternoon parallel sessions in English, talk about mental health. We'll talk about yoga. In the morning, we'll have yoga sessions. In the afternoon, we'll have strategy sessions on how we can grow the organization. Parallelly to the entire program, our youth will be in a 3-day youth program, a youth camp type residential program where they'll get to learn from each other and have a sense of camaraderie. Because my kids go to the Arya Samaj here, Vishrut kids goes to Arya Samaj in Atlanta, and when we all come to kind of together in a global conference in a camp type environment, we associate ourselves with something bigger, right? Um, the great news is that Yog Guru Swami Ramdev ji will grace the event with his presence sometime during the Sammelan, and hopefully people will get to listen to his keynote and his impact. He's a follower of Maharshi Dayanand. He went to Gurukul as well, and what those yogic values, how they're relevant today. Uh, we have people coming from 60 people coming from Mauritius, over 100 people coming from India. There's a delegation coming from Guyana, Suriname, Trinidad, Singapore, countries in Europe, of course, Australia. So it's really a global event, and we invite everybody to come take part. Uh, Hopefully for all 3 days, but even if you can come for one day, attend a meditation session, attend a yoga session, listen to these great keynotes
So,
from the Vedic scholars, which you generally wouldn't be able to, right?
yeah, Bhuvnesh, they can get more information from ams.aryasamaj.com. And
Yeah.
do they need to register somewhere?
Yeah, we do request everybody to please register. It's a small nomination, small fee to register. And if you want to stay on campus, there's arrangements for that as well.
Wonderful. So as we conclude, Vishrutji, tell me something about the event which will be taking place at Times Square. What time it is going to be on 18th July? I think that is how we begin.
Yeah, 7 to 8:30 p.m. Bhuvnesh, correct me
Yep,
if
yep.
I'm wrong. So 7 to 8:30 p.m. There will be cultural celebration. Our youth that have been learning, they'll be presenting something. A couple of highlights would be a Saswar Ved part presentation as well. As you know, Vedas are our ancient scriptures, and to protect and preserve their authenticity, there are 18 ways in which Vedas can be chanted. So one of the or two of the ways we are going to present, and of course there'll be bhajan songs, procession within that area itself. So it will be going to be very colorful, spectacular presentation by the youth of our Arya Samajas itself. And
Wonderful.
other thing that you would want to know is that there was a lot of discussion about women cannot wear the Yajnapavid, women cannot do the Veda chanting. In our conference, which is happening from 18 to 21st in Hofstra University, we are going to have an Akhanda Yajna, Agnihotra, for all the 3 days. And on one or more of the days, a woman is going to be the Brahma of that Havan as well. Istrihi Brahma Babhuvita is coming from the Shastras. So as we speak about Arya Samaj believes in giving the equal status or equal opportunities to all, and women is no exception in that. Women are leaders. Our Brahma is what we are calling. So of course there is a session wherein only women are going to speak. We are having women speakers from all across the world, scholars, sages, sannyasins, and they're going to speak.
Yeah,
And of
we
course,
should, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I'm afraid we should be time tells me that we need to wind up
Sure.
this session for now. But before that, I also want to take the time to thank both of you, and also I'm very excited about this upcoming event. And looking in the broad perspective, I think these are the kind of events which are going to increase that positive energy which we all need for world peace and for harmony. So when youth comes together with such noble thoughts, ideas, and participate in chanting or mingle with cultural issues, that definitely is going to transform the whole society towards better side. And I will recollect this mantra Bhadram no api vataya manaha. So you were emphasizing about the noble. So all these mantras basically uh, praise for that, and collective prayers are definitely powerful. And this collective conversation was a source of joy as well as hope for me, and I wish great and grand success for this upcoming uh, convention celebration. Bhuvnesh and Vishrut, thank you very much.
Many
And
thanks, Ashokji, for organizing it. And one just thing, last thing I would say, that the event is open for everyone. It is not restricted to the people who are going to Arya Samaj. It's open for everyone, and the talks and sessions will be both in English and Hindi. So we
absolutely.
try to make it.
Once again, thanking both of them and thanking all of you. This is Ashok.
Thank
Namaste.